think the interview the Chris because I understand um, the importance uh, uh, be honesty in um, I I learn news words and phrases. Uh, I like it, teacher. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a great video, right? Something like that will be your first interview in a call center. Without any shirt, only with pants, full of painting. No, not exactly. Interviews in call centers are chill, but you need to be clear and understand every question, right? And any interview is perfect, but I can assure you that if you try, if you really need to work or want to work and you go and try, some of you will be hired. And remember that we have different accounts in call centers. Some accounts hire you with the 70%, but it doesn't mean that you will not improve your English only because you are hired, right? You need to, for example, there are other accounts that only hire you, you have 6 months of experience and 95% of English. That doesn't mean that that's all. Oh, I was hired in a premium account. Oh yeah, I know English, you know, my friend. I speak like Chicano, my friend. No, that's not English. And English is part of the job of a call center, but it's not all. You need to be patient. You need to have a great attitude. You need to show leading skills to lead yourself at least, and be very wise with your time. Very wise. And you will be fine. Any other questions that you may have? Any other questions before going to the next topic? Okay, so we will be practicing shadowing technique, such as dictations and other exercises to be ready for the test. Okay, because what I want you to do is at least recording your videos without reading anything, right? That's the best goal that we can have. Que sus videos de valores, de todo lo que tengan que hacer en inglés para sus exámenes, sean sin ver, porque los videos así los hacen. Yes, I want to share about myself. I played football, and yes, I am very good at wash the dishes, and pásame el cuaderno, que está la página. Yes, I am good at. Así mandan videos. So I don't want you to do that, right? It's kind of funny, but it's real, right? And you need to be fluent and speak with the vocabulary that you have, right? It doesn't matter that you have like 100 verbs in PDF if you don't know how to pronounce them. I prefer to have 15 verbs that I master, conjugations in future, past participle, that I know how to pronounce well, that have 400 verbs and conjugations in PDF that I will not read, right? So my advice is little steps. Little steps. You don't eat a hamburger of one bite, right? If you have that skill, I respect you. Si alguno de ustedes puede comerse una hamburguesa de una mordida, mis respetos. Pero va por poquito. Y si se la come, no la va a disfrutar. De que sean así, mordiditas. Pequeñas. Y después ya puede comer todo. ¿Sí? And you are in that way. So A2 level is to give you a little taste of what's your future, right? And start practicing these abilities that you say, oh, what's that? That's basically A2 level. Para que sepan, bueno, ya no estoy en elementary, ahora ya vale la pena ponerme a practicar. Eso es A2. Y ya en B1 es como, oh, estoy muy cerca de tener una entrevista. Tengo que hacer la entrevista. Y en B2 ya están listos para poder dar una conferencia, un discurso en inglés. Eso es B2. Mucho en business English. Ya no es como, vamos a ver acerca de lo que es presente. ¿Cuál es la estructura? Así como yo se los explico así. No, ya no. Es como, ok, 15 sentences. Talking about what did you do last summer, please? Pero en Fumbal les amamos y pues vamos a repasar, ¿verdad? Pero ya tiene que ir todo eso bien en su mente. Okay? So next topic. The next topic, we will learn about quantifiers. For example, I have a lot of ideas. I had a few questions for you. There wasn't many students in the school. How much does it cost? I love you so much. We have a lot. Let me see. Oh, I have some vocabulary for you. So these are quantifiers. Quantifiers help us to express that idea of quantity in the sentences. A lot, a few, some, many, much, and we will watch a video about it. Okay. So please take notes of the quantifiers. And at the end, we will review each of them so I can make sure that you understand every quantifier and how to use it. Are you ready? You can take notes. You can take screenshots of the video. Here we go.
Hello again, everyone. This video is about quantifiers. Now, what are quantifiers? Quantifiers indicate amounts or quantities of things. And in this video, we are going to look at how to use and the differences between the following quantifiers. They are much, many, lots of, a lot of, few, a little, little, some, and any. But before I get to the quantifiers, I have to talk about countable and uncountable nouns. I made a video earlier about nouns, and I discussed what a countable and an uncountable noun was. And to determine which quantifier to use, you have to know if the noun that you are describing a quantity for is a countable noun or an uncountable noun. Let's look at the examples. In the first set of examples, we have the countable noun apple. Okay, apple is a countable noun. We can count apples. So in the first sentence, there is an apple on the tree. This is another way to say there is one apple on the tree. In the second example, there are apples on the tree. We can count them, so we can add an S and say that there are apples on the tree. There are more than one apple on the tree. All right, so countable nouns, we can make them plural. In this particular case, I just added S to apple to make it plural, but other countable nouns have other ways to make them plural, which Again, look at my video on nouns if you're a little bit unsure right now. Okay, so let's go to the next set of examples with uncountable nouns. In this case, we're talking about sand. Sand is what we call a mass noun. A mass noun is a group of something, and we count a group as one, so they're singular. For example, number 3 here, there is sand on the beach. You see, it's counted as one, sand, okay? And we would never say, like number 4, there are sands on the beach. We can't pluralize it. We can't add the S, all right? So if you can determine if the noun is a countable noun or an uncountable noun, you'll be able to use quantifiers with no problem whatsoever. And the first one we're going to look at is the quantifier much. Much is used to determine the quantity of uncountable nouns, and it's usually used in questions and in negative sentences. Let's look at the first example. Number 1, how much ice cream do you want? Here, much is describing or determining the amount of ice cream. Ice cream is an uncountable noun, so we use much, right? We can't count ice cream. Remember, it's one of those mass nouns, a group. It's counted as a group. And in the second example, you don't have much time before the bus leaves. Here, this is a negative sentence. We're talking about you don't have enough time. And time, in this example, in this particular use of time, it is uncountable. So we use much. All right, time is counted by how? It's counted by minutes and seconds and hours. Those things you can count, but time, the way it's used here, you can't count it. So we use much. All right, now let's look at many. Many is used with plural countable nouns. It's mainly used in questions and negative sentences. Similar to much, it's a large quantity of something. But many is the alternative to much because many quantifies countable nouns, like in the first example. Number 1, how many cookies do you want? Cookie is a countable noun. I can count cookies. 1, 2, 3. In the second example, you'll see it. There aren't many cars on the highway today. All right, so many means a large quantity. So if we say that there aren't many, we mean there are not a lot of cars on the highway. Okay, cars, car, countable noun. That's how you know which one to use. Now let's look at a lot of and lots of. This should be very easy for everyone, okay? Because they're used with uncountable and plural countable nouns. They're usually used in positive sentences, and like much and many, they are used to quantify large amounts. So, in the first example, we have there is a lot of bread on the table. Bread, is bread a countable or an uncountable noun? Uncountable noun. We can also say, number 2, there is lots of bread on the table. They both mean the same exact thing. So you can use a lot of or lots of with uncountable nouns. All right? And look at number 3 and 4. Let's do 3 first. There are a lot of windows in that house. Window is a countable noun, so we can pluralize it, right? We put the S on this in this case. There are a lot of windows. And number 4, there are lots of windows in that house. 3 and 4 mean the same exact thing. You can use a lot of and lots of. Next, we're going to look at few and a few. And they're used with plural countable nouns, and they usually mean a small amount or quantity of something. Let's look at the examples. In the first one, few students walk to school in the country. When few is used like this, in this particular sentence, the emphasis is on the small amount of students who walk to school in the country. In example number 2, we have a few students walk to school in the country. In this case, the emphasis is on, well, there are a small amount of students that actually walk to school, but there are at least some students that walk. So 1 is implying that there are a small amount, maybe in a negative way. And then in number 2, a few students is saying that, well, I know there's a small amount, but some students do walk to school. Okay? Now, you have to be careful, all right? Because there's an exception to this. If you put quite in front of a few, it changes everything. Let's look at the example. Quite a few students walk to school in the country. In this sentence, it means that many students. Quite a few means many. So you see the big change? So that one little word, quite, will change the whole meaning of the sentence. So you can still use it. Just remember what it means. Okay? Now we're going to look at little and a little. Little and a little are used with uncountable nouns, and they usually mean a small amount or a small quantity of something. All right? Let's look at the examples. We had little time to prepare for the test. Now, in this sentence, we had little time. This means that we had maybe not any time at all. This means a very, very small amount or no time to do it, to prepare. And in number 2, you'll see, you can really see the difference here. We had a little time to prepare for the test. This also means a small amount of time, but it's saying, well, I know it's a small amount, but it was still some time. You see how different it is from the first one? In the first example, we had little time. It means small amount or no time to do it. And then the second one, we had a little time, which actually means we had some time, but it was only a small amount. All right, got it? Now let's look at how some is used. Some is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. It's used in positive sentences. It's used when we're offering something, and it's used with requests. Let's look at the first one. Number 1, he has some friends with him. All right, friend is a countable noun. So we can use some with countable noun. It's positive, right? He has some friends. Number 2, he bought some iced tea for his friends. Now, iced tea is an uncountable noun. You see, but we can still use some. So it can be used with countable and uncountable nouns. In number 3, we have an offering. Would you like some coffee? Here we're using some for the person is offering, if the other person wants something to drink. And in number 4, we have a request. Could I borrow some money, please? Now, some is used other ways in English, but these are pretty common ways. Now, let's do the final quantifier, which is going to be any. Any is used with both countable and uncountable nouns, and it's usually used in negative sentences and questions. Let's look at the examples. In the first sentence, number 1, she doesn't have any friends at this school. This is implying it's a negative, right? She doesn't have friends. And again, it's a countable noun. Friends, right? Friend is a countable noun. Number 2, there isn't any milk left in the refrigerator. Another negative, right? There is no milk. Milk is uncountable. And in the third example, we have a question. Is there any money in your bank account? This is a neutral question, right? It's not a negative or it's not a positive. It's just the person is just asking, is there any? All right, and that's how it's used. All right, okay. That's all for this video. Take a look at the summary here first. You can pause the video if you want. So I hope this video was helpful. Look for my next video, which is going to be a test. So I hope this video was helpful.
As a developer, I realized ClickUp is an incredibly powerful.
Okay, so if you want to take a screenshot of this one, we will go back here. If you want to take a screenshot, here you have. So we have many quantifiers: much, many, lots of, a lot of, few, a few, little, a little, some, and any. And we use it in many, many sentences, right? Almost in every conversation. Questions so far about this video class?
Nos va a dejar, teacher, el link para ver el... Okay.
Absolutely. It will be in the platform. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing the screenshot. Now let's see an example in one story. Okay. Here we go. I will share with you the following link so we can review a conversation using quantifiers, okay? Here we go. Let's see. Frank, can you help me to read David and Diane? You are Maria.
Okay.
Sure.
What's your office?
Okay, first David, I've got a new office now.
That's great. Congratulations.
I'll need a desk and some cabinets. How many cabinets are there in your office?
There are 4 cabinets in my office.
Do you have any furniture in your office? I mean, other than the chair at your desk.
Oh, yes. I've got a sofa and 2 comfortable armchairs.
Are there any tables in your office?
Yes, I've got a table in front of the sofa.
Is there a computer in your office?
Oh, yes. I keep a laptop on my desk. next to the phone.
Are there any flowers or plants in your office?
Yes, there are a few plants near the window.
Where's your sofa?
The sofa is in front of the window between the two archers.
A lot for your help, Janet. Janet, this gives me a good idea of, please. Teacher, okay, thank you. Thanks a lot for your help, Janet. This gives me a good idea of how to arrange my office.
My pleasure. Good luck with your decorating.
Great, great actors. Let's see. I need 2 more actors here. Michelle, you are Maria. And Alex, you are David. Let's see how good actors you are.
Good actors. Ahí está. Así. Entonces, Michelle. Okay. I've got a new office now.
That's great. Congratulations.
I'll need a desk of some cabinets. How many cabinets are there in your office?
I think there are 4 cabinets in my office.
And do you have any furniture in your office? I mean, other than the chair on at your desk?
Oh yes, I've got a sofa and 2 comfortable armchairs.
Are there any tables in your office?
Yes, I've got a table in front of the sofa.
No. Is there a computer in your office?
Yes. Your office. Yes, I've got a table in front of the sofa.
Uh-huh.
Okay, ¿dónde me quedé? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, I keep a laptop.
¿En dónde?
Oh yes, I keep the
Aquí
laptop
dice.
on my desk
Sí.
next to the phone.
Yes, even got a table in front of the sofa.
Okay. Is there a computer in your office?
Oh yes, I keep a laptop on my desk next to the phone.
Oh, are there any flower or plants in your office?
Yes, there are a few plants near the window.
Where's your sofa?
The sofa is in front of the window between the 2 armchairs.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot of your help, Janet. This gives me a good idea of how to arrange my office.
My pleasure. Good luck with your decorating. Algo así.
Decorating.
Decorating.
And arrange. Alex, arrange
Arrange.
my office.
Thanks.
Very good. So let me identify the quantifiers on this conversation. We have some. What else? How many? We have any. Are there any tables in your office? ¿Hay alguna mesa? ¿Algunas mesas en su oficina? Are there any flowers or plants in your office? Yes, There are a few plants near to the window. And in the same time, we can use a lot of quantifiers as much as we want. When you say, teacher, I'm a little confused about this topic, you are using quantifiers. When you are asking, how much is this shirt or this skirt, or the girls, how much are these shoes? You are using quantifiers. Questions so far? Okay.
Teacher, una pregunta, ¿qué significa como la despedida que él le dio? Good look, creo que decía.
Good look. What's good
No
look?
sé.
Good luck.
Ajá, sí, sí.
Good luck. Buena suerte.
Oh, ya, good luck. Okay, thank you.
Good look es como look, my looking. Oh, you look good. You have a good looking. Un buen estilo. Una buena presentación. Good luck. Good luck. Es buena suerte. Good luck with your decorating. Buena suerte con su decoración. Decorating. Repeat that word in your houses. Decorating. Decorating. What's that, Miguel? I've got and I have. What's that? Is that a question? I got. Got is a phrasal verb. So in some contexts, got significa recibir. Y have siempre va a significar tener, a menos que sea un auxiliar. On Christmas, I've got a lot of presents. So this means that I have a lot of presents. Esa es la diferencia, básicamente. Thank you for the question. I will share with you the link. And what's next? You will create a conversation using quantifiers. It can be about any topic, about vacations, about your office, your room, your family, your English lessons. Any conversation using quantifiers and follow the example. Use questions, use phrases. You can also ask for information and answer the question with a little story. You can be as much creative you want. And we will do it in groups. So let's see. I want to make sure that everyone has a companion to share the screen. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Please accept the invitation for the groups.